Hey Grace Church, Michael Campbell here, family pastor, going over this Sunday's lesson, how it applies to the children, how it applies to us as primary disciple makers of not only our homes, but the opportunity that we have to lead classrooms as well. And so how do we apply this story? And so we're continuing a little bit from last week, and this is Jesus appearing specifically to Thomas in John chapter 20. And towards the end of that chapter, we find the disciples gathered only a week after the discovery of the empty tomb. And word of the resurrection had already begun circulating, and Jesus even made himself known to some of his followers. And at that point in the story, we read of Thomas's response when he's faced with the news of Jesus' resurrection, which I actually think is understandable in some respects. But like, what lessons can we learn from Thomas's doubt, and why did Christ declare our faith was more blessed than our sight? And doubt actually comes so naturally for us, and that we often feel the need to see things for ourselves before choosing to move forward in trust, right? And that's true for us now as it was for Thomas. However, unlike the doubting disciple, we don't have this scar-bearing Christ standing physically in our midst. Yet Jesus declared that the reality to be that our blessing and advantage that he's not there. And so Thomas's encounter with Jesus offers us a significant truth about the necessity of faith. So, like this disciple, we weren't physically present to witness the stone roll away or see the Lord's burial clothes folded neatly where his body once laid. We weren't there racing at breakneck speed to see the empty tomb with our own eyes. However, we can receive the greater blessing of faith that comes only with the absence of sight. Like, how great will our joy be when faith actually does become sight? So, just as Jesus' resurrected body was able to appear to the disciples even when they hid behind the locked door, so can he break down the barriers to our own faith. And so he welcomes doubters to enter into his presence. And Jesus stood among the disciples and their distress and fear. In fact, his initial greeting was one of gentleness and peace, not of anger or apathy. So as we talk to our children this week, like, help them understand that Christ offers us the same peace and compassion given to Thomas and to the others. He likewise commissions us to proclaim the good news to the ends of the earth. Just as Thomas heard the resurrection through word of mouth, people around us also are dependent upon the sharing of the gospel's great news. And so these are some of the topics. I don't want anybody to think that the opposite of faith is doubt. It's not. Obviously, Thomas was a disciple, but questions also can help us dive deeper into our dependence of God. So you'll notice some other questions and memory verses and topics to go through as a family unit going into this weekend. But hopefully that God can bless this time with you and your family, and even as you pray for this lesson in the classrooms. But until next week, God bless. Take care.